What's up, everybody? Stavros Spinning Greek back. I'm going to do a quick video response to Randy's 149, no 148 subscriptions contest. Randy's channel, Deadwax66, I believe. If you don't follow him, dude knows garage and psych. Great collection. Shows a lot of great stuff that I've never heard of, and he's turned me on a lot of things. So I want to do a really quick one. His contest was show 10 records that you'd never get rid of. Not rarities. He went on to say not necessarily rarities, just records that mean something to you. So yeah, I don't think there's any rarities in here, maybe one, but Randy, dig your channel. So here are my 10 records that I don't think I will ever get rid of. Start off with Funkadelic's Maggot Brain. This is the Four Men with Beards reissue. Sounds alright. All the OG copies I see look really beat up. Anyway, possibly one of my favorite records of all time. Probably the most spun record in my collection. So, Funkadelic, Maggot Brain. Next up, this was high school. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Everyone, I assume everyone knows this album. This is the UK press with the bad cover. This was my high school. This is what I listened to. Well, high school, junior high, middle school, whatever you call it. I listened to this every day, all day. Next up, Moby's Play. I'm not a huge Moby fan, but this album's great. I've shown this before because I got the new reissue. This is original UK press. Or US press. People know this album. It's a good album. Next up, Niels Frahm, Spaces. This is a recent discovery. I got this. This is the Vinyl Me Please reissue from last year, maybe earlier this year. Erase Tapes. This was 2013. Vinyl Me Please reissued it. I love Niels Frahm. After this, I started looking for everything he did. You know, electronic, piano, synth, experimental, very, very juicy. Whoop. My favorite jazz funk fusion album and my only Vertigo record in my collection, Ian Carr's Nucleus. I love the cover. This is nice. 70, 71. Can't remember. 71, I think. Love the cover, love the music, love everything about this record. Next up is Chris Robinson Brotherhood, Betty's Blends. This is like a 4 LP set. I love CRB. I think their studio albums, especially the newest ones, are kind of blah. But I've seen them live a lot. And they're unbelievably good live. So this comes, it's a 4 LP set, comes with a nice booklet, bunch of pictures, and great rice paper inners. Pressing looks like this. Sounds amazing. Yes, it's 45 RPM because Chris Robinson apparently is a audiophile or a wannabe audiophile or whatever. But phenomenal jam guitar work. I've shown some of their stuff before, but I don't think I've never showed this. Betty's Blends, Chris Robinson Brotherhood, 4 LP set. Great artwork, and they tour all over the place all the time. and their shows are cheap and in small venues. If CRB comes to a town near you, go check them out. Next up, this, if Appetite was middle school, this was college. I came into the Dead late in my life. Dead weren't big in Dallas, Texas, of all places, where I grew up. But when I went to college and people started doing wacky stuff, this came up. And Without a Net was listened to extensively. It's pretty much what introduced me to the Dead. And then I got into... And again, with the Dead, their studio albums, meh. But their live stuff, that's where it's at for the Dead. And Without a Net is live from Nassau Coliseum. Well, it's part of the tour, October 89 to April 1990. And I realized I showed that, so sorry. But that's a contest response. What am I going to do? Lee Morgan Sidewinder. This is an original mono on Blue Note. I forget the year. I do forget the year. But I had to pick a jazz. If there was one jazz album I'd keep, it's this one. Just because I love Lee Morgan, and it's pretty much the only cool thing I've ever found at Goodwill. I love Miles. I'll find Miles again someplace, somewhere, Coltrane, all that stuff. But I don't know. I need to pick a freaking jazz album just to make myself happy, and I picked that one. All right? Don't leave your comments telling me I don't know anything. I probably don't. All right. And the last one is the White Stripes. This is the first vault release, TMR Records. This is mono. Icky Thump. I love this album. I looked for this forever and finally found it at an affordable price. But, you know, White Stripes, I've got a lot of White Stripes. And this is by far my favorite. I know people don't necessarily agree, but this is it. So that's it. That's 10. Real quick and dirty. Randy, love your channel, man. Thanks for doing this. And if you don't see this by tomorrow's deadline, quite all right. All right, bud. Be good. That was only 9 records. This one was hiding. Here's the last one. Rolling Stones, Stripped. I love this record, and this wasn't easy to find. This is all performances from Amsterdam and Paris, and rehearsals from Tokyo and Portugal. And it sounds great, and it is what it is. It's stripped down, and it's the Rolling Stones at their best. I love this record. All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye.